On the sidewalk.
Go ahead and say and spell your name for us first and your title.
My name is Brandy Miklas, BrandyMiklas. I'm the City of Tampa's Infrastructure and Mobility Program Coordinator.
Okay, can you kind of tell us a little bit about what's going on around here?
So the city's mobility department recently installed four-way stops at 3 different intersections near Plant High School. All-way stops or four-way stops are an initiative that the mobility department is putting in place neighborhood by neighborhood, and it's an initiative that will drastically reduce crashes at intersections. The reason why is when you have a four-way stop versus a two-way stop, you have all intersections are stopping, so it reduces the conflict points for people on foot, on bike, and also reduces crashes of all types between cars and of course cars and pedestrians or folks on bicycles. In addition to these mobility improvements, these safety improvements, the mobility department also installed new parking spots, about 20 additional parking spots, as well as a new car line. The car line is a new approach to providing car line space, but also when the car line is not in use, it can also be used for additional parking. And that's something that we had heard from different stakeholders at Plant High School and the neighbors about, just the need for more parking. So we were able to do that with this project because every project that the city has on a roadway, no matter how big or small, is an opportunity for us to look at the roadway and see if we can make it safer and what other improvements we can accommodate.
How important is this in high traffic areas, specifically, with the school being right here?
It's very important. One of our priorities within the mobility department is Vision Zero. It's a commitment to get to zero deaths and serious injuries on our roadways. And it's something that Mayor Jane Castor committed to when she first came into office. With Vision Zero, we want safer routes to everything. Safer routes to schools, to parks, to transit, and safer routes to basic needs like grocery stores and food. So implementing safety improvements near schools and near parks is a top priority.
Is this an area where there's a lot of crashes and issues like that around Plant High School?
We have a team that is dedicated to looking at the data behind all intersections within the city. And so looking at locations, seeing where the highest injury areas are. We have a high injury network, actually. It's where all the most of our crashes and high injury crashes occur. What we've done with that approach is it's more data driven, and so we're able to locate areas where there are higher crashes so we can implement these safety improvements.
And Casey, I would say with this, it's not necessarily that there are more crashes, but this is one of our high priority areas. Does that make sense? Because this is near a school, there are students and there's a lot of foot traffic, this place is a priority for us to put a four-way stop. It's near a school and a neighborhood, so I wouldn't say that there's a high number of crashes right here at this intersection, but this is a place that we're targeting to make it safer to prevent.
Sure. Would you possibly be able to kind of reiterate that?
Yeah. So with the city has a data-driven approach when it comes to prioritizing our projects on roadways. We look at where the crashes and high injury crashes are occurring. So just overall, citywide, that is our approach. It's a very data-driven approach. And we also know that when you convert a two-way intersection to a four-way intersection, it reduces those crashes and those conflict points for all modes. It doesn't matter if you're walking, biking, or driving.
And we know that this is around a school. Does it typically get pretty congested in this area?
Specifically during pickup and drop-off periods, so your morning peak and your afternoon peak, there's an additional foot traffic, car traffic. So that's one of the reasons why we implemented the car line, which was able to accommodate the cars that are there for pickup and drop off, but also to accommodate more parking when the car line is not being used.
I'm happy to go and add anything else too, but I did want to bring up Councilwoman Hotag, if that's okay. She's such a traffic safety advocate that I think that would be great too.
Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Lynn Hurtak, LYNNHURTAK, and I'm a Tampa City Council member.
So can you tell us a little bit about how much of a difference this is going to make for drivers, for pedestrians?
Well, it's going to make a huge difference. Brandy talked a lot about slowing down traffic focused on the schools and the bikes and the pedestrians. But what we have noticed with these four-way stops, it also slows down drivers. So the drivers who go through this intersection automatically will have stopped, and they're going to be slower going to the next stop sign or down the street, and that's what we've noticed. So that makes it more that makes it better for neighborhoods. So folks who live in these neighborhoods, they will see a huge impact, even when school is not pick up and drop off. They'll notice slower cars in their neighborhood, and that's what this initiative is all about. Regardless of where these stop signs are being put in, the four-way stops, you can find them. It seems like there's at least one almost every day, Brandy. But honestly, it's been a huge difference for folks who live anywhere in the city of Tampa.
Absolutely. And with kids and students here, how important is it for them knowing that maybe a lot of them walk to these houses in this neighborhood?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. So kids, when they're getting out of school or coming to school, knowing that they can cross in a safe space. But it's not just the before and after school, it's folks walking their dogs at the end of the day, it's kids on bicycles who might be, younger students, just getting people being comfortable and safe in their own neighborhood. And that does include, getting to and from school.
And why Plant High School rather than maybe other high schools at the moment?
I think it's just Plant's turn. As she was saying, it's data driven, but then it's also the things that make our life better. Getting to the grocery store, getting to school. Just, there are some common sense places to put more four-way stops, and near a school is absolutely one of those. It doesn't matter what school.
Sorry, didn't mean to ruin it. I would also say too, there's a priority to do this around schools citywide. So it's as she said, it's just Plant's turn. It's not that this area gets priority over another. We just use the data.
But you're seeing already how this is slowing down traffic. Without this stop sign, folks would just be barreling right through. And that is it really does make a giant difference. They've added quite a few four-way stops in my neighborhood, and it makes a huge difference with the traffic going down. We don't have sidewalks, so people are walking their dogs in the middle of the street, or as much as they can on the side, but the slowdown of traffic really matters.
Is the city going to also look into installing these same stops in university areas like UT, HCC, USF, or is that a little out of your reach?
We can put four-way stops in the city streets that we own. There are a lot of streets we don't own, and that's the unfortunate part. So I know this is an initiative that's focusing on neighborhoods because it's, quite honestly, it's quick, it's cheap, it's easy, and it makes a huge impact. Dollars for dollar, you can put these up and dramatically impact a neighborhood within a day. Absolutely, do we want to have more of these near universities and higher education? Absolutely. A lot of those streets, though, we don't own. So that's a lot more legwork for the city. They have to partner with the county, partner with maybe the state. So that can impact that. But I don't see why we wouldn't be focusing on every area that we possibly can.
people who don't know or don't understand, how would you describe Plant High School, this area, demographically, and how the kids are and things of that nature?
It's it's one of the oldest high schools in the city. It's an absolute area that many people want to live close to. It's very dense, a lot of, and it's off a major street. So you have all of the things that make car traffic a big problem.
And also, I was actually at Pete Alonso's event, the charity event he had, Battle of the Bay. You had a lot of traffic then. How would you describe, when you have a lot of people coming to visit the area with traffic and four-way stop?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right behind us is the baseball stadium and all of those different things. I mean, there's events going on at Plant High School way more than just pick up and drop off. Folks come here for all sorts of events. Mm-hmm. And this enables people, when you're going to a place maybe that you don't know very well, you try to go a little bit slower, trying to figure out where you are. These four-way stops really help drivers stop and be able to focus. Where are you? Oh, I'm here. Okay, this is where I am now. This is the intersection I'm at. I need to go a little bit, I need to go to the next stop sign, take a right to get to the front of the school. But in the meantime, they're not barreling down. They have a chance to stop and get their surroundings, get their bearings.
I apologize. Can you say and spell your name again for me?
Sure. Lynn Hurtak. LYNN HURTAK, Tampa City Council member.
And can you say your district too, please?
Oh, sure. Tampa City Council District 3, citywide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys need anything from me? Or